Now then folks, yes, it's another mini race, but stick around because this one is different. In fact, despite the incidents you're going to see, it is without doubt one of my favourite races that I have had in Andi's mini league, the online league that I'm a member of. So why don't you pause the video right now, go and make a nice cup of tea or coffee or grab yourself a beer, whatever is your beverage of choice, come back, sit down and watch this for the next 30 minutes or so. So in this first lap, let me set the scene whilst everybody is settling down and just warming their tyres up. So this is a fun online race that we did about a week ago. Not a league race, just a race on a Tuesday evening to have a bit of a laugh. And instead of the usual 12 laps, we decided to make it a timed 30-minute race, still with one mandatory pit stop for fuel and tyres. So as you can see, there's 14 drivers, and I think I actually started 10th, so I've made up a couple of places already here in lap 1. And what I'm going to do camera-wise for the entire race, I'll leave the main camera here on trackside camera. However, the cockpit cam in the lower left I will change depending on the action. So at the moment I've just got it on myself and called it Old Man Cam. So as hinted at, there is lots of action and incidents in this race. However, I need to point out straight away, despite the thumbnail I've used for this, there is absolutely no hard feelings with any of the other drivers here. It was a fun race, and honestly, I had some of the greatest racing ever with you guys, and I can't wait to have more. Certainly, Kev Gallagher and I are going to remember this race for quite a while, I think. And speaking of Kev, you'll notice that the cam in the bottom left has changed to Kev Cam on lap 2. So here is the first protagonist. I reckon there's about 3 guys in this entire race that I have such a good time with. So you can see that Kev has really caught up to the rear of me here now and is starting to give me quite a hard time. So now we've all got our tyres nicely warmed up. I can see Kev in my mirrors. I'm starting to push a little bit and trying to catch up with MH, which is Martin, in front of me. Now keep an eye on number 6, Pistol Kid, as well, because he is going to factor in fairly soon. Really pushing through this fast section here, just bumping over these curbs left and right, left and right. Kev is only half a second behind me. And we are fast approaching what is definitely my nemesis corner on this Virginia circuit. I just could not get my braking point right. And I know that Kev was faster through this particular series of bends. But unfortunately, oh no! First collision! Now I know it's really difficult when you're racing close like this and somebody brakes a little bit sooner than you were expecting. So all's good, and he does the gentlemanly thing and lets me pass. I see there was another car off there. I think maybe just came round the corner and got slightly panicked by the situation. This green Mini that's in front of Kev just now, who will be CP. So anyway, on to lap 4. And Kev has dropped a little bit, a couple of places behind me now after that incident. So we'll go back to my Old Man Cam for the driver's position. And I'm just pushing on. And this is where my second protagonist comes into play, Mr. Garland. So Melvin Garland is in front of me just now. Oh, and there's that green Mini going off again in the background. So I'm starting to try and reel in Melvin now, trying to get a bit of space in between myself and the two Kevs behind me. I know Melvin well from racing in other online leagues with him, so I think we're quite evenly matched. I'm certainly starting to pull that gap down. You can see at the moment it's 1.7 seconds, but I'm gradually reeling him in. Fuel and tyres are all good just now, so there's no thoughts of coming in for this one mandatory pit stop just yet. More likely halfway through the 30-minute race I'll start to think about that. So you can see the two Kevs fighting in the background behind me, and then Melvin just in front of me here. I should mention that when this circuit was announced for the fun Tuesday night race, and I came on to do a bit of practice because I thought, oh, I don't think I've ever raced at Virginia before, and within one lap I thought, oh wait a minute, this is the race that I was racing at in Forza Motorsport the night before, so I knew the layout straight away, so it didn't take me too long to get up to speed with a bit of practice. So here we are, we've got Melvin down to less than a second now, going into lap 5. So over the line, onto a new lap. Chasing down Melvin as hard as I can. The two Kevs are still fighting away behind me. We'll start to see them in camera shot fairly soon. And I think Melvin and I are pretty well matched here. It's the usual case of some corners he's a little bit quicker on, and other corners I'm a little bit quicker on, but I do close up to the back of him fairly quickly here. So I'm really, really close now, 0.3 of a second. Just trying to harry him into maybe making a little mistake here or there, kicking up dust as we come through this sweeping left-right section. Oh, slightly off there as well. He's really pushing his old Melvin here. And here's the long drag up to what I call my nemesis corner, the corner that I absolutely hate on this circuit. I think there's somebody just in front of him, Bristol Kid. Now keep an eye on Bristol. He starts to come into play here. Oh, right up the back of Melvin now. Now, that was a flash of Bristol in the background, so he's come off at that corner, so he's now behind me. And for this next part of the race, Bristol Kid really starts to feature. So there he is, behind me at the moment in the blue and white Mini. So what was a 2-horse race between Melvin and myself is very quickly developing into a 3-horse race with Melvin, myself and Bristol Kid. And watch how quickly he is closing us down. He's a quick driver, is Mr. Bristol. So with Bristol joining the party, I think it's about time we switch from Old Man Cam to Bristol Cam. So as you can watch what he's seeing in front of him, there we go. You can see it in the bottom left-hand corner. And this is an interesting dilemma now for the three of us, because Melvin will be very aware that not only am I chasing him, he'll be aware that Bristol is chasing me. Bristol will be aware that the two of us up ahead are fighting hard, so he might just hang back and see if there's an incident, which he might gain 2 places out of very easily. And I'm stuck in the middle here, trying to catch up with Melvin, but also keep an eye on my rear mirror. So this is absolutely fantastic. This is exactly why I enjoy online league racing with a good bunch of guys, which there is in AML. And you know, we're all being very respectful here, but pushing as hard as we can. So here we are, coming up to this darn corner again. My heart's in my mouth for this corner every time. managed to get round it safely at that point. But look how close Bisto is now. He is really right up my tailpipe. Oh, look at this. So coming on to lap 7, oh, he's darting around there trying to find a way past me. It's not the easiest circuit to overtake, I have to say. But yes, we're getting on to lap 7 now, I believe, or is it lap 6? So we're getting near the kind of, you know, not too far away from the halfway point. So time for everybody to start thinking about a pit stop. And it'll be interesting to see what the three of us decide to do. Now, we are coming up on Snowy, who is the tail marker. Snowy's still getting himself up to speed, but lets us pass very nicely. So we don't really lose any time there. So the three of us, look at this, scrapping together really closely. And you can see Bisto's just hanging back a tad in case Melvin and I come together. Kicking up the dirt there as well. Oh, this was such fun. Oh, Bisto having another look up the inside and the other side. And there we go, there's the inevitable mistake, but I've managed to get back on, didn't lose any places. I think that was a fair outcome in that instance for a little bit off track. So the three of us are still going. Back down the long drag, up to Nemesis corner. Oh, oh, that deserves a Picard face palm, definitely. So I've taken to the grass, forced into a mistake, complete driver error, the two of them nip ahead. So now it is me chasing Bisto. And Bisto's closing in on Melvin very, very quickly. So the psychological games have turned around a little bit here. Now, I was surprised how quickly I catch up with him. Now, I think it's fair to say Melvin would agree that he's maybe holding up Bisto a little bit here. And the two of them scrapping is allowing me to close up again very quickly, despite me taking to the grass in a spectacular way. Oh, look at this. You see, even Bisto's finding it hard to get past Melvin. It's not an easy circuit to do it on. And here we are into this fast, sweeping corner section. Riding the curbs. And Bisto looks very quick, he really does. Oh. It's amazing how quickly we come round to this long straight again. I always felt it was a longer lap when I was doing it, but commenting on the replay here, it feels like a much shorter lap. So here's the three of us herring down to this Nemesis corner again. And I think I've already made the decision to pit on this lap. Oh, now they just kind of got in each other's way there. There was no contact, and it allowed me to slip in front of the two of them. And we've lost sight of Melvin, so I think he's off. So myself and Bisto, slight contact because we're both coming in the pit. And I wasn't quite sure where the pit lane limiter line was, so I maybe got on the brakes a little bit too quickly and caught Bisto out there, but no harm done. So this is interesting, we're both in the pits at the same time, and Melvin, there's Melvin coming to the pits as well. Here he is coming up just behind me. So the three of us who were in that battle have all come into the pits on the same lap, albeit a few seconds apart. So I think the pit stop is about 30 seconds or so. You can see my car just going down there from the tyre change. So they'll be pumping the fuel in now. And I think I'm going to get out first, obviously, because I came in. So here I go. And you can see me just going past Bisto. So I've switched to his cam. And he's left Melvin behind. So Bisto is following me out onto lap 8, I think it is, 8 or 9. Lap 8. So I've got a little bit of a lead on him, but we're both on fresh tyres, and I know he's going to be looming large in my mirrors very, very quickly. As I say, it's a hard circuit to overtake, and I'm aware that he is quicker than me, so I'm not going to make it easy for him, but at the same time, if he closes up very quickly, and I feel that I'm starting to drive out with my comfort zone, then it makes absolute sense just to let him go. However, let's see how we get on here on the outlap after the pit stop on our fresh rubber. But as expected, he's right up my jacksie once again. And I'm trying very hard to drive within my limits, but he's quick. He's right up beside me now. I think I picked up a track limits offence there as well, so you can see I am starting to get out with my comfort zone a little bit. And here we are coming up to this blurry corner again. Big long drag down the straight. And again, I've made a mistake. So there is a good lesson for you, gentlemen. Pick your fights. I didn't adhere to my own advice there, but really I knew he was faster, and sensibly I should just have let him go and get on with my own race. So thankfully, just a bit of run off onto the grass. It didn't harm my time too much. But he's away in front of me now, and he's going to scamper off into the distance. So we'll just stick on my cockpit cam for the time being. You can just see him ahead of me there. However, who is this lurking in the background, you might ask yourself? It's our old friend Kev Gallagher. So he is going to factor in again in this closing part of the race. So I think for this lap, I'm fairly out on my own and just trying to get on with it. A little bit of distance in front and a little bit of distance behind me. And just trying to eke out any sort of advantage I can and keep these tyres up to temperature and get back into a groove after the intermission of a pit stop. And try and improve my braking point for that darn corner. So you can see a lot of guys starting to come into the pit now. So yeah, as expected, round about sort of halfway, maybe just over halfway into this 30-minute race, people are starting to pile in. So we're in 11th anyway. We've got Pistol Kid ahead of us, 4.6 seconds, and we've got Kev behind us on about 3.5 seconds. Oh, sliding round that corner there. Well, you can see Bisto overtaking somebody ahead. I think that was CP or Grim Reefer. I'm not quite sure. Another couple in the pit. So you can see Kev is starting to close me down a little bit. It was 3.5 seconds. It is now 2.5 seconds. So we are going to have a little bit of a fight on our hands, I believe, for the last part of this race. Maybe another kind of 5 laps to go, maybe. I'm starting to become aware in my rear view mirror that Kev is closing the gap. He's got it down to 1.5 seconds now, so he's quick as well. I'm just trying to push a little bit harder because I'm very conscious, and here's Snowy again. We're coming up against Snowy, who very well lets us past, if I remember rightly. It's never easy when you've got 2 cars fighting and you want to let them through. So anyway, that has definitely allowed Kev half a second behind me now. So here we go, a grandstand showdown for the last few laps. Big long drag down, and guess which corner we're appearing towards? Here it is again. Kev is bearing down. Now let's not forget, Kev's already taken me out on that corner once, unfortunately. No hard feelings at all. I know how difficult it is. So I'm very conscious that I've got the car behind me, who I think is faster than me, but who also likes to try and overtake at that point, or maybe just misreads my braking point. Either situation is valid. But look at this. He is right with me now. Right in my slipstream. Half a second, less than half a second between us there. This is absolutely fantastic fun. If you enjoy watching this, folks, and you are over 50 years old, the only stipulation for our AML league, if you want to come and join us on some mini racing, then drop me a message and I'll send you a link to the Discord, and you can come and join us. We've just finished, we're about to finish season 1 tonight actually, and season 2 will be starting fairly soon. So here we go. Look at it, still with me. Again, I know he's finding it very hard to find a place to overtake. Just the nature of this circuit. We can just see a couple of guys up ahead, Grim Reefer and Bristol Kid. However, the big long drag. Here we go. Can I get my braking point right here? Oh, a little bit better. Oh no! Same corner, same car. Oh dear. You couldn't script this if it was a movie, eh? And there's somebody going past us. Anyway, Kev does the very gentlemanly thing again. Even once I take to the grass there, and lets me get ahead. And he was very apologetic on Discord, so no hard feelings. It was just a fun race, and these things happen. We shouldn't get wound up about it. It's just a game. Into about the last kind of 3 laps or so, and we have resumed our battle. Kev goes a little bit wide there, I think. And we'll stick with Kev Cam below so as you can get the view as he's chasing me down. And you can see it is actually Melvin ahead of us. But I can't quite recall if we catch him up or not. It'll all unfold before our eyes here. But look at this. Look how close this is. Oh, darting around, he's trying hard to find a way past here. pushing hard. Almost round the outside, but I think he just slightly ran out of track up onto the rumble strip. And here we go, the corner. I managed to get a little bit of fresh air in between us. Oh, oh dear. This isn't good. This isn't good, is it? Forced into a mistake, absolutely. And not covering myself in glory there, I've rejoined the track ahead of Kev. Now, I would never ever do that in a proper league race, and to be fair to myself, I kind of thought he was maybe holding back a little to let me on after our two coming together, so a little bit of miscommunication there. It goes a little bit wide there, so I know that Kev wasn't very happy about that at the time. We have since kissed and made up, so put a little bit of distance in because he went wide at that corner, and I think he's kind of lost the spirit a little bit now after that last incident. So I'm just trying to push on. I'm hoping that he catches up with me again because I was really enjoying that fight. So we'll horse on regardless. Try and get a decent finishing position here. We're 9th at the moment. Now, what doesn't show here in the replay, and because I had a SimHub dashboard on my screen when we were racing live, is I'd actually picked up a 10-second penalty. I don't think it even shows on the leaderboard here. Now, I'm almost certain that was for 3 track limits infringements, although it may have been for that rejoin in front of Kev on the last lap, but regardless, that would have affected my finishing position at the end of this race. So you can see that Kev has picked up the baton again, and he is starting to close me down, 2 seconds behind me. And I think we've only got a lap or 2 to go. So I'm glad that he's rejoining the fight. I'd rather that and get a grandstand finish, hopefully. But this has been a very enjoyable circuit. It's one of the things that I'm finding with this AML league is, one, I absolutely love driving these minis. They're just such good fun, and they guarantee fairly close racing. But also, it's introducing me to tracks that I've never really tried much before. But it's also giving me a new perspective on tracks that I knew very well. But you know, obviously, driving faster cars like F1 cars or GT3 cars, and it's very different in the Mini. So I highly recommend you give these a go. I know I'm posting a lot of Mini videos just now, and my obsession with them will dwindle eventually, but this was such a good race that I wanted to... Well, there's Kev off. He managed to get it back on without too much loss of time. But yes, I highly recommend you go and try these if you never have done. Fantastic little car to drive. So he's right with me now, look at this. 0.2 of a second behind me. Now, I think if he'd wanted to, he could have stuck it right up the inside or outside here and got past me on this Nemesis corner. But I can tell he backed off there because he didn't want to do it a third time. yes, this race was such fun. I wanted to get the replay and put it together for you like this, with a bit of narration and some different camera angles, so as you can see how the story played out over the half hour. Oh, and I've got it wrong there. I had a puff of smoke coming out of my tyre. So again, Kev is right up my tailpipes. The sun is setting. See, it's blinding in his cockpit view. And he's pushing, pushing. I think this might be the last lap. Both going hell for leather through that series of bends there. I'd love to do that in real life. This is where I was picking up track limits infringements on this corner quite a lot. It seems very, very strict on that corner. There's maybe one time I knew I was over, and at the other two, I'm pretty sure I still had two wheels on within the white line. So you can see the early evening sky behind. It's all nice orangey glow. And we get it all wrong again at that corner. So does Kev behind me. I think we've both lost the will to live here now. So here we are coming round pretty much to finish the race. I'm almost certain. Yep, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I had a great time in that race. Great battles with all you guys from AML, and many, many more to come, I hope. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button on the video. It really helps out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers for now.